informarles que al momento estamos saliendo de una zona de mal tiempo. Hemos logrado esquivar varias células de alta turbulencia, pero que el resto de nuestro vuelo sea tranquilo. Vamos a cruzar a una altitud de 13.500 pies, estimados 4.000 metros sobre el nivel del mar, y estamos estimando unos 43 minutos de tiempo en ruta. El área terminal está reportando 32 grados centígrados y está reportando visibilidad y cielos ilimitados, así que no habrá ningún problema para estar ahí. Quiero indicarles que cualquier persona que desee visitar la cabina se lo haga saber a su sobrecargo y él amablemente nos conducirá a esta cabina. Tendremos mucho gusto en saludar. Muchas gracias. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard the Aviateca flight bound for Santa Elena Airport in Petén department of Guatemala. I would like to inform you that we already have evaded some areas of high pressure and turbulence, and the rest of our trip will be fine. The weather on the terminal area is above ceiling and visibility okay. We are climbing to 13,500 feet of altitude, estimated 4,000 meters above sea level, and our estimated flight time will be 43 minutes. Any passengers who desires to visit the cockpit, it's kindly please ask to your hostess to come and see us. You will be welcome. Thank you very much. Enjoy your flight.
they got the idea about the Corbel Arch, C-O-R-B-E-L. The arch is known from ever since about 300 BC. As I mentioned, a local man that lived around the ceremonial centers. If there's anyone who died in their relatives, they'd burst the floor of their own houses, made a neat wall and placed the body in. Just the high priestess was buried beneath the major temples. The local man was buried beneath their own houses. You can find up to 13 different skeletons placed in individually. Beneath their own houses, they were buried. And there was offerings of flint and obsidian. But here you can see the face is completely destroyed, which it has been destroyed by the Mayan themselves. And in Tikal we have a definite proof that they did it themselves. We have discovered lots of carved monuments buried in the temples, and it was also destroyed. We figured they destroyed it to show whenever the period of a high priest had been finished, to show he was completely out of power. They destroyed the face, the headdress, if not the lower part of the monument. But it had some religious significance. They did it from time to time, from early classic right up to late classic, which we just can't say exactly why, but they did it themselves. His earring. Here is his necklace. On top of his right hand, there's one of these long-nosed rain god figure, Chak. C-H-A-C, Chak. Here's the eye, here's the mouth, here's the chin, and that's the nose. In this hand, he shows he's doing something. So for a convenient purpose, he's called the corn god, which this could be grains, could be blood, could be water, could be incense. In this hand he carries his ceremonial scepter, could be to show his power. Here we can see he's also covered to jaguar skin. You can see the spots, the tail of the jaguar with seashells. And here we have the date of the monument that corresponds to January 24, 771E. For this is the good man, Eric Thompson. He was a British archaeologist. 1116 correlation had deciphered their astronomical glyphs in our Gregorian system. It's known that the Mayan used the bar is 5, and that is 1. Here we have Baktum 9. Each Baktum is an ending period of 20 years. And that's a Tikal emblem glyph with something like a bond in the middle. Here we have Baktum 17, 0, 0, 0. Here we have Ahau 13. Here we have 18, Kum Kum, January 24th, 771 after Christ. And from ever since the monument been placed where it's been exposed, the wall is too far apart to build the curved arch. So these are original drain holes. Was a complete exposed enclosure, and this is the original floor. And this is the ceremonial altar which is lying in the original position. Excuse me. It's a figure like this. Salute. As close as possible, closer in, as close as possible. The face destroyed, his headdress and his hands behind. There is no proof to Saint Tikal that his position represents human sacrifice. If the Mayan did had human sacrifice, was not as much as Aztec did in Mexico. In Tikal, the altars was used for laying offering, burning incense for animals and birds, sacrifice. And they show whenever they bore their earl with a tail of a stingray, punching the tongue with a tail of a stingray, splitting the part of the tongue, running a knotted twine through the tongue, punching all different part of the bodies, they received the blood. That's what they offered as human sacrifice. Early Mayan, no proof. About 800 after Christ, they did have some sort human sacrifice, but still, not as much as Aztec did in Mexico. They sacrificed up to 100 in a day. The Maya was much, much more pacific. Yes, the face of the monument is destroyed, and the altar is just the same. And this light pink we're seeing, this is not original paint. It's fungus, it's lichen. You hear? It's not original. Any questions? And you look very positive way. You just the top of temple number 1, superimposed above the dome. The red top. Which is to go up. Now this is the back of the Jaguar Temple. We're much, much lower than the main plaza. Here in the back it stands 155 feet. In front is 145. But those holes you can see above, those holes comes all the way down. Those are original holes for wooden scaffolding while the Mayan was building. And they leave the holes exposed to repaint their temple. Such as this part of the temple is painted mostly white and red. The roof combs in front was painted all different colors. The 9 square miles was like this, paved and painted red and black. Now this type of architect we're seeing, this is called tablero, which this is Teotihuacan influence out of Mexico City. But this very late comparing with Teotihuacan in Mexico. That this type of architect in Mexico, 550 after Christ. And this is dated 750 after Christ. And it's the only building been asked by the University of Pennsylvania that shows this type of architect. So all the books been published has been published as Teotihuacan influence. But in the last 6 years ago with the Guatemalan archaeologists, we found 4 more buildings on one before 200 earlier than Teotihuacan in Mexico. That proves that this type of architect, it came from the heart of Guatemala City. Zone 7 is a very famous archaeological site. It's called Caminal Huyo. From Caminal Huyo, lowland in the Petén, then from there up into Mexico. So in the future, instead of Teotihuacan influence, will be Teotihuacan style. This circle represents the Mexican rainbow, Tlaloc. Design above and below represents the plume serpent. In Mexico they say Quetzalcoatl. In Maya we say Culculcan. Central Acropolis. Part of it has caved in. But if you look very carefully, the way the arch is shaped like a V, that capstone on top forms all the roofing in all the buildings. This is dated 400 after Christ. And why 2 sets of steps so close? These was used for climbing. The whites have used for sitting, laying offering, burning incense, while having their family dances in these huge open courts or ceremonial dances. And look at the different angles. The wide steps you can see, they're not straight, they're completely slanted. The wide steps, they're slanted. Keep going up.
Can you hear him talk from there?
Here we can see there's two windows. There's one here, and there's the other in front. But this building here, that center portion straight across, you can see facing stones, they're almost brick size. That's early construction. Goes back about 400 after Christ. The side was added after 500 after Christ, huge blocks of facing stone. So the side was added later. The center portion is about 400. The side is about 500 after Christ, huge blocks of facing stone. This way. First a 5-story palace building. Way down at the wall from the first floor. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's rooms all the way beneath us. Then looking across the main reservoir, there's temple number 5 faces us. Number 5 is just the way it was found. Nothing has been done. That's what the whole Tikal looked like when Mendes reported in 1848. Such as the major temples, there's very little vegetation on the roof cones. We just had the back of temple number 1 is too vertical. Nothing can catch hold. So 95% at least of the 5 major temples is original. That's the best proof. We're 600 feet above sea level. Here in the middle is the benchmark. At this point, we're a little over 900 feet up. The rest is gradually built by the mine. It's packed with solid blocks as soon as elevated, it's man-made. And these are all palaces. These are also original holes for wooden scaffolding while the mine was built. And above each door here in this palace building is a huge mask above. We'll have a look inside. To mend these wide spots like this, all the rest is original. All the wood above, except the 2 outer piece, all the rest is original. It's called ink wood. The reason why it's called ink wood, the man they got 3 different color paint from the same wood. First is yellow, red, black. But the black when combination of white will give you purple. So with white you get 4 colors from the same wood. But what the man did to preserve the color and the wood itself, after limestone was burned, it was steeped in water with the wood. Then after wood is exposed, it becomes almost petrified. The wood does not support, it's just decoration. It's at least about 1,300 years old. Here there's a light pink from the original paint you can see here. Now here in the wall there's some graffiti which they are original. There's some right beside it, above the doorway, which they are original. But these has been penciled over. These have been first penciled over by Dr. Murley. and they have been constantly retraced over by the archaeologists, but they are original. Which this is Mala. Hollis Dr. Mala lived in this building while he was mapping for the Peabody Museum. His first visit, he came to Tikal 1895, he came back 1904, and he lived in this building. And these are beds. They laid lots of straw mats, animal skins, they cotton and weaved. These are beds. The ruling class was about 5, 7.5 was the most. The local man the most, they were under 5 feet. And here there's another, which also has been penciled. It represents a dancer. He has a bird in his hand, possibly it's a falcon. And there's one. You're looking down and walking straight in. We're looking down into the great ceremonial plaza. This is the main center of Tikal. Across there's a North Acropolis of 16 individual temples, and beneath each temple there is a tomb. Most of the ceramic we'll be seeing in the museum this afternoon came strictly from the North Acropolis. Then looking down